Hello children, welcome to K.R. Lakka Memorial CBSE School online classes. In our previous class we discussed about the Ashoka's empire, how it was planned and how they ruled, and about Ashoka is a unique ruler, why he is a unique ruler. Then Ashoka's war in Kalinga, it was a turning point of lives of Ashokas and for the Maurya's empire also, and the emperor and the capital city of Mauryas we have discussed in the yesterday's class. Let us start today. What was Ashoka's Dhamma? What was Ashoka's Dhamma? Dhamma means this is the Prakrit word. Okay, you know that Arthashastra and Maurya's books were written in the language of Prakrit and the script is Brahmi, so that his inscriptions also or his messages also they were used the language at that time is Prakrit and script is Brahmi, so they used the word of Prakrit only. So Dhamma means this is a Prakrit word, and equivalent in Sanskrit Dhamma means Dharma. You know very well, in Kannada also we will call it as Dharma. So Ashoka's Dhamma. What was Ashoka's Dhamma? Let's see, read this. Ashoka's Dhamma did not involve worship of a god. We will think that Dharma andre Devaranna poojisodu ankotivi. No. As per Ashoka's Dhamma, it's not only to offer the god. Ashoka's Dhamma did not involve worship of a god. Only puja madodu avaru involve madlilla. Or performance of a sacrifice. Enadru tyaga madodu. For example, sometimes to follow the god or to worship the god, some will go for brahmacharya. They will sacrifice their all happiness or the royal celebrations. So like that, Dhamma means it's not involve the worship of God as well as not to sacrifice anything. He felt that just as a father tries to teach his children, he felt that Dhamma means how the father will teach a son. He will teach always, father will teach good things only to the son. How to behave, how to take care of himself, how to take care of his family in the future, how to take ahead of his family, how father will teach a son. Like that, Dhamma is also teach to the people or to the subjects to how to have a good life or a better life in a correct way. So it's like Dhamma is like a father to teach the people. Okay, it is not purely related to the God or worshipping God or to sacrifice something on the name of God. So Dhamma is like a father to teach a son in a better way, in good way. So like that he felt. He felt that just a father tries to teach his children, he had a duty to instruct his subjects. So Ashoka was having the duty that I should instruct my subjects. Subject means here people, the people of his empire. Subject indicates that the people of Ashoka's empire. So Ashoka felt that it's my duty to take my subjects or my people to the right way apart from the violence, so that he used Dhamma. He was also inspired by the teachings of Buddha. Chapter 6 you have studied about Buddha and the philosophies of Buddha and rules and regulations of Buddha. So those all messages inspired by the Ashoka. Ashoka was inspired by Buddha's advices. What was the Buddha's advices? Just 2-3 I will tell you. Non-violence, ahimse ಮಾಡಬಾರದು, ಅಹಿಂಸೆಯನ್ನ ಪಾಲಿಸೋದು. ನಾನ್ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಹಿಂಸೆ. ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಸೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಬುದ್ಧಾಸ್ ಅಡ್ವೈಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾನ್ ವೈಲೆನ್ಸ್, ಬಿ ಟ್ರೂತ್ಫುಲ್, ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬಿ ಆನರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟ್ರೂತ್ಫುಲ್, ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳಬಾರ್ದು, ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹಿಂಸೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. These all are the advices of Buddha. The Ashoka was inspired by Buddha's advices or Buddha's messages. Those messages Ashoka inculcated in his Dhamma, and those advices he transferred to his subjects or his empire people. There were a number of problems that troubled him when he started Dhamma. Instead of conquering the areas, he faced many problems. People in the empire followed different religions. When he started following Dhamma and to instruct those to the people, he felt many problems. That time the people of his empire were followed different type of religions. So that time it was become quite a difficulty to inculcate the Ashoka's Dhamma because they were following different type of religions. Andre ಅವರು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಏರಿಯಾಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯಗಳನ್ನು, ಆಚರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು, ಭಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದ್ರು. ಆವಾಗ ಈ ಧಮ್ಮದ ರೂಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಪಾಲಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಅಡಚಣೆಗಳು ಉಂಟಾದವು. And this sometimes led to conflict. Animals were sacrificed. Okay, slaves and servants were ill treated. Okay, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ಲೇವ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗಕತ್ರು, ಆರಾಮ್ ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ರು, ill treated. Besides, there were quarrels in families and amongst neighbors. Because of religions, there were started some quarrels among the neighbors. Because they were following different religion, these are following different religions, and to follow the Dhamma also they felt very bad and they start quarreling each other. Ashoka felt it was his duty to solve these problems, so he appointed officials known as Dhamma Mahatma, who went from place to place teaching people about Dhamma. So that time he started directly give the message of Dhamma, and the people did not understand what it is, how it has to be followed. That time they start quarreling each other. That time Ashoka felt that it's my duty to make the problems resolve. So that he appointed officials like Dharma Gurus, Mahatmas, Dhamma Mahatmas. So their duty is to explain the rules, explain what Dhamma is, in the Dhamma what to follow, how to live our life, how to lead our life. So these all are the rules of Ashoka, what he felt, what he thought, that they should take the message from place to place, one place to another place. So like that he has started. So he appointed many people like Dhamma Mahatma, who went from place to place teaching people about Dhamma. Besides, Ashoka got his messages inscribed on rocks and pillars. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆ his messages ಅನ್ನು ಅವನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ, ರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆತ್ತಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದ. Instructing his officials to read his message to those who could not read it themselves. So inscriptions ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆತ್ತಿಸಿದ, but many people cannot read, they are illiterate. So that he appointed the many people to read it loudly when there were illiterate people who cannot read it. So he appointed the people to read that loudly and to reach the message to everyone. Ashoka also sent messengers to spread ideas about Dhamma. He sent many people to spread Dhamma from farthest places of all over his empire to other lands such as Syria, Egypt, Greece and Sri Lanka. Not only in his empire, he sent his people to spread Dhamma in other countries like Greek, Egypt, Syria and Sri Lanka. Try and identify these on map 6, pages 76 and 77. He built roads, dug wells and built rest houses besides the arranged for medical treatment for both human beings and animals. In his empire, along with spreading Dhamma, he constructed roads to transfer from one place to another place, and he gave rest houses for the people or the journers or for Dhamma Mahatmas to travel. When in traveling they should take the rest, so that he has built rest houses and dug wells, bhavigalanna tegsida. Many work he has done. This was about Ashoka's Dhamma. Ashoka's messages to his subjects. Subjects mandre people of his empire. In message kotta avun empires ge, empire alli iro janrige. People perform a variety of rituals when they fall ill. ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಆರಾಮ್ ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೆಲಸನ ಮನೇಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ರು ದೇವರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ರು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್, ಬಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ನೋ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಪೀಪಲ್ perform a variety of rituals when they fall ill. When their children get married, ಅವ್ರ ಮದುವೆ ಆದಾಗ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಂಭ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ. ವೆನ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಆರ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್, ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಆಚರಣೆಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ. ಆರ್ ವೆನ್ ದೇ ಗೋ ಆನ್ ಜರ್ನಿ, ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಏನೇನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಲ್ಲ. ದೀಸ್ ರಿಚುವಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್. If instead people observe other practices, this would be more fruitful. Other than following these rituals like marriage ceremonies or to go somewhere in a journey celebration, instead of this, if you do another works that will be fruitful for you. What are those work? These are being gentle with slaves and servants. ಸ್ಲೇವ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಬದಲಿ, ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬದಲಿ ಬಿ ಜೆಂಟಲ್. ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ಬಿ ಜೆಂಟಲ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರ ಜೊತೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್, ದೊಡ್ಡವರಿಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಟ್ರೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಚರ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾಷನ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಚರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜೀವ ಜಂತುಗಳನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದು. ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಟು Brahmins and monks. That time they used to feel that monks and Brahmins mean they are equivalent to gods. So giving gifts to Brahmins and monks, it is both wrong to praise one's own religion or criticize another's. So Dhamma means ಇದೇ ಗ್ರೇಟು ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದನ್ನ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಈಚ್ ಒನ್ ಶುಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್. Following Dhamma also okay, and if any people are having another religion, respecting with Dhamma, you should respect another religion also, and no need to criticize any other religions. If one praises one's own religion while criticizing another's, one is actually doing greater harm to one's own religion. One religion ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರಿಲಿಜನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಮಾಡಿದಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Therefore, one should try to understand the main ideas of another religion. So, being a one religion person, we should understand the other religion's process and follows also. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, wrote his edicts, instructions, still speak to us in language we can understand, and we can still learn much from them. Identify the parts of Ashoka's messages that you think are relevant to today's. Below, the Brahmi script. Most modern India scripts have developed from the Brahmi script over hundreds of years. Here you can see the letter A written in different scripts. So they are explaining about Brahmi script. Then what was Ashoka's Dhamma we wrote. Separately one message has given in 72. The Ramapurva bull. Here it is a given. This is a bull. That's name is Rampurva bull. Look at this finely polished stone sculpture. This was part of a Mauryan pillar found in Rampurva, Bihar, and has now been placed in Rashtrapati Bhavana. It is an example of the skill of the sculptures of that Maurya's time. Now presently it is in Rashtra Bhavana. Ileshwara. So another one, read it. Somewhat before the time of Mauryan Empire, about 2400 years ago, emperors in China began building the gate wall. It was meant to protect the northern foreigner to the empire from coastal people. Additions to the wall were made over a period of 2000 years because the frontiers of the empire kept shifting. The wall is about 6,400 km long and it is made of stone and brick with a road along the top. Several thousand people worked to build the wall. There are watch towers all along a distance of about 100 to 200 meters. In what ways do you think Ashoka's attitude towards neighboring peoples was different from that of the Chinese emperors? This is for Ileshwara. This is a China wall. Related to that they have given some informations. Okay. And tomorrow's class we will write the exercise which is given in this, and we will complete all the writing exercise of this lesson, and tomorrow I will give you some notes also on this lesson. If you read that notes, those will be in simple sentences. If you read those, you will understand the lesson very easily. So after writing the notes, we will write the exercise. If you can't, or if you have any doubt in this lesson, you can call me and ask, okay? And make whatever SS fair you are having already, in that only you continue this part, this lesson from history. This is lesson belongs to history, so there only you write the notes and the question and answers. Okay, thank you.